Another session on balance and harmony. I'm Coach Ify, and today I have a guest. Funny enough, today I call it double double. I
Yeah.
just finished on a platform about 1 hour ago. We talked about the power of words, and now she's on my platform. I'm going to introduce her. I call her Coach Ngozi. She is a graduate of accountancy. She is a chartered accountant. So sometimes when we bring people here, they are behaving so humble and just reserved. These are great people. She's married with 4 lovely kids, and in her capacity, she has worked in many organizations. She has led many community committees. And what I love about her, she's a lover of God. She's passionate about, raising the next generation to know God and to serve Him. And I think that's always for me something that really pushes me to people when they also love God, because that's a big deal. And she does that. She's a growth habit expert. That means if you really want to get to your next level consistently, progressively, you need to contact her. She has paid programs, she has fee programs, free programs. And even though you just listen to her on her Tuesdays live and you take those things she says or our guest says, you are going to have a transformed life. You can follow her on Facebook, Growth Habits with Ngozi, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, and now she also has them via speaking Dutch. WhatsApp channel. Sorry, it's called WhatsApp channel. And sometimes some of the things she puts there, the steps you should take, they are biblical principles, biblical Bible. Sorry,
Yeah.
Bible principles. I mean, my German element. They are Bible principles, and if there's nothing that cannot fail, that is Bible principles. So,
Yeah.
welcome, Coach Ngozi, to my program. Today, you're on the hot seat, so I hope you are ready, not to
As
get
ready
burnt,
as I can be.
but to share knowledge and experience. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing very well.
Okay, let me
I
ask you.
can.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I wanted to say I can say of a truth that God is faithful.
He is. I want
Yeah.
to ask you a question. I just saw it on one of my, somebody wrote on their WhatsApp status. What would
Mm.
you, if somebody asks you to introduce yourself in 3 sentences, what would there, what would that be?
Three
I,
sentences, three whole
yeah,
sentences.
I just saw it now and I said, ah, what would I say? So even me, I don't even know what I would say, to tell you the truth right now. So impromptu, I don't even know what I would say, but I just found it interesting.
Three sentences is a lot, and for me, honestly, I think. But
Okay.
if I was asked to introduce myself, let's assume I had, let me even say 2 seconds. I just met someone. I need to just quickly tell them who I am. I would just tell them my name is Ngozi Onwuchuluba. I'm a growth mentor, chartered accountant by training, a son of God, a child of God, a mother, a wife.
Amen.
Quickly, I've covered every aspect of my life in those few words.
That's good. That's good. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
So I hope you are ready to share knowledge.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's start. So the first question I will ask: when you think of stress,
Mm.
what do you associate stress with?
Okay. Stress is, in fact, it can be positive or negative.
Yeah. Okay.
There is good stress, there is bad stress. So stress is basically anything that um so I want to use stress to define stress. Imagine me. I want to say anything that stresses you. But anything that puts you or makes you go above and beyond your usual. I think that would be the most, will I say, the simple definition of stress, anything that makes you, your body, your system go above and beyond the usual. Um, but like I said, you can have good stress, you can have bad stress. So anything that makes your body go on the negative, maybe your BP increases, you begin to develop some, heart palpitations, things like that. That is the bad stress. But the good stress helps you. Yes, it makes your body move, yes, but in a good way. For example, you now become more productive because of that stress factor. So, like I said, anything that moves your body or changes, will I call it? Let me say, changes the reaction of your body is actually a stress. It's actually stress. And the way our body responds to that stress or to that stressor is what makes it positive or negative. So I think that's I hope that was a simple definition. I hope I did not go too
That's good.
far.
My question is for you now. You've explained it to
Oh,
us. What is it? What give us one, two example for you? What will make you
for me,
your
what
heart? Yeah.
stresses me?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. What stresses me? One, it's what do I say? Um, time restrictions.
Okay.
Let me put it that way, because usually I like to plan myself. I like to arrange how things go for me. So
Mhm.
anything that disturbs that arrangement is already a stressor for me. For example, I've planned out, let's say my let me use my growth habits for example. I've planned out for the next to September the topics that will be covered. I've even looked at all those Monday motivation, Sunday reset. I've written out those things somewhere. So anything that now comes to interrupt that my structure is a stress for me, first of all. Whatever it is a stress for me. So that I think that's one of my biggest stressors. The other stressor, but this one is the mother of all the other stressors. Anything that disrupts my schedule in any way, shape, or form, even if the disruption is small, is a stressor for me because it can push me to the other side. I have to intentionally stay on this good side. But other things can happen, other things can happen, and I'm like, okay, I quickly just, how do
Adjust.
they say it, adjust. But once you disrupt my schedule in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't matter what that disruption is, it can quickly put me on the other way. That's why I don't like people who are late.
Mm,
See, when people come late for things, it
mm.
troubles me more than you can imagine. And people can't understand it. Why,
Yeah.
why are you bothered? I just came 2 minutes late. What do you mean you just came two
I
minutes
don't
late?
like it. I don't
What?
like it myself. I don't like it myself. From what
Yeah.
you are saying, you're a very organized person. That is why disruption is a
Yes.
big problem. My guest last week, she said something. I said, when she doesn't have money,
Mm,
and there's something else she mentioned is a big stress factor for her. When there's
mm,
when that money is not there to put food on the table and things
yeah.
like that. And I told her, for me, when I come into a room and it's disorganized, hey, I'm just I am stressed out. It gets to me. I have to
Mm,
get back myself, but it gets to me. Without money, I've been a manager since I was born. I can manage. Even right now, trying to stop how to manage because you have to live life. I can manage for life. Any money that just comes in, the first thing is managing it. I don't even
mm,
think of spending,
yeah.
and that is also life. So
Mm,
it's good to know that to be very organized is very good, and disruption is what gets you out. So if
yeah.
you're watching us, let us know, what do you associate stress with? What one thing that you say as somebody, your sleep or something that is stressful, or you don't eat at the time you're supposed to eat, you get stressed. So share with us. So what I'll ask you, you've heard, I don't
Mm,
know, you've heard about balance, A lot of people believe that balance is a myth. You can never be balanced in life. What's your
Mm,
take on being balanced, on balance generally, life, personal life, professional life, spiritual? Just your,
mm.
we have depends on how you want to see the wheel of life. 7 areas of life, 5 areas of life. How do you see balance in those areas?
Okay, before I answer that question, something you talked about finances.
Yeah,
Now, I didn't mention finances as a stressor because I have overcome it. It
yeah.
used to be a stressor.
Okay.
That's why I didn't mention, but I want to share something quickly that helped me overcome finance as a stressor. And
Okay.
that is the fact that I realized, I understood that the money that I have is not my own. You know,
Hmm.
in the church setting, we are taught that tithe is God's money, 10%. Then the rest is yours. And I lived with that for years, and money was always stressing me. When there's no money in my account, I'm upset, I'm worried. I need to put it right to make sure there's money, put aside, all those things. But one day I came to the understanding that the 100% actually
Hmm.
belongs to God. It's not 10. The 100 is His. He, from His good heart, from the goodness of His heart, gives me back 90% to use and manage. Once I understood that, money no longer stressed me. That is not available. Okay, God, the 100 is yours. Where is my 90 that I'm supposed to manage with? If it's not available, it's not available. If it's there, it's there. So finances was no longer an issue. And to be very honest, since then, my finances are much better managed than before when I was handling it myself. So I wanted to just
Yeah, that's very important.
yeah,
That's very
share
important.
that because that was what helped me remove that stressor from my life. Then It balance is not a myth, as in totally, completely a myth. It is possible to have some level of balance, or will I say some level of management of all aspects of your life. It's actually possible. They might never really come to a point of everything is maybe 2020 2020, so that it all agrees like that. That might not be possible, but it is possible to get each aspect of your life to a point where you're comfortable with it, you're okay. So that is my belief, and that is what I have always strived for. At least my spiritual life, my social life, my work life, my family, my career, they're all at a point where, okay, I can live with this. That does not mean that they are all at maybe 80, 80, 80, 80, or whatever. No, but they're at a reasonable place where, yes, I can live with this. So that is my belief and how I have basically lived on the aspect of balance. So you can have a balanced life if you view it in the way that I've described, but not that you will have equal. I don't know whether that equality is even possible.
No, you use some words that are really I've not heard it that way. Talking about coming to a place where you are comfortable with that side. What I know about balance is that it's different from everybody. What is
Mhm.
balance for you is different from what is balance for me. And
Yeah.
secondly, what I also know that there are seasons and times in life, and when you understand that, you are able to better accept some seasons that you are in. But using that word of you coming to a place where you are comfortable with your spiritual life, where you are comfortable with your family, because that is what you can give or take at that time.
Yep.
That's a great one. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So let's go continue with the question.
Hmm.
Want to see in your life, was there a time whereby you can say stress really got the better part of you that you now reacted in a way it that stressor of stress factor triggered you to a point that you could not recognize yourself again?
Oh, yes. Yes. One sticks out every time I talk or reflect on stress. And it was one particular job that I had. And I took that job because I felt, there are a lot of processes these people have in their office that I've never really worked with. There are a lot of things they do that they're not familiar for me. So I was like, look, I need to learn these things because I will need them sometime in my life. So I took that job, and this job became a stressor. Capital STRESSOR, all the letters in capitals, because I was a shadow of myself. I doubted everything about myself. I doubted that I knew anything. I doubted my understanding. I doubted that my brain was working. I doubted my worth as a person because of this job. And it was because each time there was maybe an activity, whether I did well or not, I never did well in the eyes of my bosses. No matter the effort I put, it never met up. And because I took in that what they were telling me,
That feedback.
that feedback, even when things I should ordinarily understand, when it's being said, it's flying over my head. It's flying over my head. And I was losing weight. I looked like crap. I am telling you, I didn't know until somebody saw me. I was like, "Are you sick?" I looked like crap because of job. And honestly, me looking at myself, I didn't see that my face
Yeah.
had changed. I didn't notice that any other thing had changed about me. I was no longer, I've never been in a very, I'm not your ray of sunshine all the time. No, but neither am I a depressed
In a
person.
dark place. Yeah.
Yes, I'm someone that when you see me, I'm okay. I might not be laughing, but you know that I'm not upset, either I'm not sad
Mm-hmm.
either. But during that period, anytime you see me, I look upset. I looked sad. And honestly, it's just, I don't even know how to explain sometimes. It took me, after that person asked me if I was sick, I sat and said, "Why would you ask me if I'm sick? Do I look sick?" She said, "Because you look in the mirror." Because this is someone that knows me, it's not one strange person. This is someone that knows me and knows that she can tell me things.
That's good.
She
Yeah.
said, "Ngozi, look in the mirror. You have not looked in the mirror in a long time." That sounds funny because, of course, I dress up every morning in front of a mirror. So you have not looked. Look at yourself in the mirror. So I looked at myself in the mirror the next morning. I just stood and looked. I've lost weight. You could tell all these places was thin. You could see. And I'm like, why? Because of learning. Then I began to talk to myself. First of all, I began to tell myself, I'm sure I've said it severally during my sessions. I actually used to say it aloud, and the people in the office used to laugh at me. I say, "Ngozi, you know something. Ngozi, you are not daft." I made it, it was a mantra. This one is not, uh, what do you call it, affirmation that you say only in your room. As I'm walking around in the office, I'm saying it aloud because it was that serious. I had believed
Mm-hmm.
that my brain was not working. So I began to rewire my brain that yes, you have sense. You have sense. This brain God gave you, it is still working. It did not stop working suddenly. He has been working all these years and is still working. And as I kept doing that, it wasn't automatic. I didn't suddenly change and everything was good. It was over time I began to see that, okay, these things, I'm even understanding them now. These are things that 2, 3 months before this time, if you're saying it, it's just going over my head. I began to understand those principles. I began to comprehend.
Hmm.
And then, even when I submit something, my boss says it's not okay. In my head, I say, "Ngozi, what you did is right." As long as I know I didn't do rubbish,
Exactly.
as long
Exactly.
as I know that what I presented to him is not rubbish. As he's talking, on saying whatever he's saying to me in my head. I'm telling myself, this is not rubbish. Look at it well. This is not rubbish. And in time, In time, all of us adjusted. Oh. The man did not stop saying what he was saying. But what happened that the frequency of telling me that what I'm presenting is rubbish reduced. Maybe because he saw it's no longer working, I don't know. Or I was now conscious of it. But that is the first time in my life, honestly, that stress affected me to the point that I looked sick. I've never allowed stress get to me that much. So, yes.
You know, this thing that you said, when I try to also do workshops for organizations, and I also use my own experience at work. You know,
Mm,
that a boss will tell you, it was things when the boss is in is our office, and you are somewhere working, and the person
mm,
tells you, why is this mistake, and there was nothing much going on, and you are
mm,
dying from work. So me, I took it the first and second time. I told my colleague, "No, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk to my boss." They know me. It's not fight, and that's the
mm,
point. I leave my emotions because I was working, but I was struggling and angry with myself. And that's what I said to myself. I keep telling myself, "You are big enough to talk
mhm,
um, politely, but say your mind instead of you sitting down and you'll be fighting with yourself." And that's what I used to do in the past a lot. I fought with myself because I don't want to say. I just had to go out and say to her, say, listen, you said this thing one, two, three times. You can talk about the mistake, we can talk about what happened, but don't say there was not much work. There was a lot of work. She talked, and I said, I understand you, but don't say that word. I said it three, four times. And I
mm,
felt better for myself. So it's very important that you yourself, you talk to yourself, and also maybe talk to the person that might be, they will not kill you. And
mm.
to an extent, they will come to respect you. Like you said, they maybe reduce the way they talk that
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now, on there are some days that we are not as productive
Mm-hmm,
as we're supposed to be. And that is what, me personally, it can be draining. As if you are
mm,
working, but you're not moving forward. You're going around a circle.
yeah.
What do you do on such days to bounce back? What non-negotiable routine do you have, habit do you have to manage life at such times?
Okay. For me, one thing that has always worked for me, if I see that my day is just going round in circles, I stop.
Hmm. Hmm.
I pause. When we're talking in my own session, I said the power of the pause.
Hmm.
I pause. I press pause on everything, the work, everything. I stop for a second. Some days it takes me taking a deep breath. Some days I don't need the deep breath. I just stop everything and then reassess. What is really eating up my time? Why am I running around in circles? What am I doing wrong? Most times, that reassessing works.
Hmm.
A lot of times, it doesn't work either, but the pause gives
Helps.
you time to recover. And you can now go back and do something, but you're not, your brain is no longer heated. Let me use that expression. You have calmed down and you're able to even see whatever it is you were doing with new eyes. So this has always worked for me. It works in so many things. It works when, maybe I'm having an argument with someone, whether spouse, children, friend, whoever, and I'm seeing that this argument is not making any head. I press pause.
Hmm.
Usually confuses people because how are we talking? Suddenly you close your mouth. Is it that you don't know what to say anymore or what? But that pause settles my mind, settles my thoughts, even gives me time to put my thoughts together once again. Because there's a way argument to go on. You actually have lost train of what you're
Yeah.
saying. You're just
Exactly.
arguing for the sake of arguing. So the power of the pause, I just
Hmm.
press pause,
Yeah.
leave everything for a second. By the time I come back, I want to speak Igbo now. The expression that came to my mouth is an Igbo expression. Ishak makatogomono, my head have gathered, my thoughts have gathered, and I'm able to go, move forward. So that is what works for me when things seem not to be working. I'm just going round and round in circles and I'm not making progress.
Hmm.
I just press pause first.
I
Yeah.
thank you so much. I think we need to learn that. We need to really, really learn that. I've seen situations whereby me myself, you just want to finish it up. You want
Mm,
it done, you want it done. And at the end of the day, you don't get it done because there are so many things at the same time. But just
yeah.
taking that break and taking a pause makes a big, big difference.
Mm,
So let's go over to the family. Funny enough, the stress in the family is rising according to
mm,
studies
yeah.
for many reasons, and also and that both both partners are working is also increasing the
Hmm.
stress rate,
Yeah.
and that a lot of children that are young are being um, put under stress by not having that enough time for one or both of the parents. I know your
Mm,
kids are older right now, but how the stress affects them in their younger age and even now, because it's only a different phase, but you're still a mom.
yeah.
So how does stress play out in your relationship with your partner, with your kids, with your loved ones?
Yeah. Okay. I mentioned arguments a few minutes ago. That my family, my children, let me say two of them take after their father. They can argue for Africa. And they must win. There is no way, no way that you will have an argument with these three people, my two children, my husband, that you will win. It's not possible. They must have the last word. So initially, this thing used to stress me out because why can you not listen? Why are you not paying attention to what I'm saying? Why is it that you must win even if you're wrong? And it was a big issue initially, and we would argue and argue, and I would get upset and I'll walk out and all that. But in time, see this, when I talked about that pause, that is what I began to do. I would press pause on that argument first. It disables the person arguing, truly. It disables them first of all. They're like, what's happening? Are you done? Are you finished? I'm like, "No, I'm good for now. Let's just all take a break." By the time we resume, because we will definitely resume, because they have to win. Remember, they have to win. This argument cannot end until they. By the time we resume, at least everybody is me. I'm calm. I don't know about them. I'm calm. So that is one thing that helped in that aspect of family. And then I found time to play,
Hmm. Hmm.
especially with my children. Even my husband, even though playing with my husband can be a stressor if you don't if you don't take time because he's super competitive. You want to play Scrabble with him.
Oh, I can understand. It's turn to World Cup.
Yes, well, yes, it is world. Everything is World Cup. But I
Yeah.
learned to play.
Mm,
Play is
mm,
one of the biggest stress
mm,
relievers in families. Learn to play with your children, learn
mm,
to play with your spouse, and I mean, play to the extent that you're rolling on the ground if that's
mm,
what is needed. Play, be a child again with them.
mm, mm.
It is a very big stress reliever. Even as adults now, we have evenings we all gather and we play different games. And at that time, everybody is laughing, joking. We are playing. It has all the stress of the week or weeks gone by before this gathering dissipates during that meeting. So learn to play. I think I even heard that now. I don't know when this started, but the United Nations is emphasizing on play for children, the benefits of children playing. So
That is really
if I you see some of the things we knew, we did not know that there's science or something supporting them.
based
We just,
backing them up. That is a true.
yes,
Yeah.
just know that it worked. So play, find time to play in your family. No matter the stress, even if there's no money, we are struggling to make ends meet. In the midst of that, find time to play. Money will come someday, somehow, but find time to play. It can drain all the stress out of your body at least for that time. After you can pick up and continue stressing if you want. If I don't know who wants to carry stress when you can actually drop it. So play has been a big part of our family stress relief. Play. Yeah.
Okay, let me pry a bit more. What about chores? Does
Mhm.
chores cause a stress factor in your home, and how do you handle it? Is everybody so brave that everybody does their work and just say everybody does ABC, and how do you handle such things?
Mm, I don't think the family where everybody does their chores exists. And I'm not sure I've seen that family. There will always be one person that does not want to do their chores.
Hmm.
There will always be. In every family, one, at least one exists. In my family, I have them. So when they were younger, I would insist you have to do your chores. If you don't do your chores, waiting for you, you will do it. Even if you want to, because sometimes I think they believe that if they postpone it, you will now do it for them or something. I won't do it for you. The kitchen is a mess and it's your turn to clean it. It will remain that mess.
That was a problem I had. I would do it at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
You will come and clean that kitchen
Mhm.
when you are ready. No problem. You say you don't want, no problem. You will clean it. If you don't clean it, whatever is supposed to come after, I'm supposed to cook. I will not cook in a dirty kitchen.
Mhm.
I won't cook in a dirty kitchen now. Yes, in the early years, yes, I would go and clean it because I need to cook. But my sister, my life is limited.
That's it.
As they say, I cannot come and kill myself. So, no, you will clean it. You will clean it. And it's even more now that they are adults. Now everybody's in their own house, so there's no chores to give anybody. Everybody's in their own house. They are seeing the benefit of doing those chores now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, are you going to leave your house a mess? You will
That's
not.
it.
You will clean it up. So yeah, initially I would leave it. I'll just rush, clean everything and do what I want to do. But I wasn't helping them. I didn't really help by doing that. So I had to, you will do your chore. You will do it. And it got to a point that the day I now say I will do that chore for you, rush. You will rush and beg me not to do it. So that is it.
No, it's very important. I used to do, but even
Mm,
now, when I do, that means they cannot enter the kitchen anymore. If I finally have to do it myself, I
mm-hmm,
mean, sorry, the kitchen is then mine. You know,
mm-hmm.
but the problem we have is that either we'll now do it or we'll get angry and we stay angry, and that's the stress because we don't want to
Yeah.
see it and we're seeing it. We are talking, we are saying the same thing, maybe shouting, shouting, shouting. And
Mm-hmm.
the truth is that I don't encourage shouting all the time
Yeah.
so that a child will know when it is serious.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Understand? So, but if you shout on about everything, they'll say, "Ah, Mama will just shout and it will finish."
Exactly.
So
They
when
become
you are
immune to the shout.
exactly, so when you shout, let them know now, Mama is there's a problem. You understand? Like me, if I've told them arrange your room, and they've not, I just go there, I help them to scatter it more because I don't see it. This is what I do,
Mm,
you know. But
mm-hmm.
we as parents or as mom, we need to find a way to calm ourselves down, either avoiding doing whatever you have to do because you cannot keep yourself all tensed up because
Yeah.
ABC is not doing their work.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find what works for you and what
Yeah.
will help them to grow. Because at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, me always going to do it will not help them to grow.
Yeah.
So whatever you are doing, you think of yourself, also think of how to help your kids to grow.
Yeah.
So how do you balance or what boundaries do you set? I've heard you talk about it sometimes on your platform. How do you
Mm.
set balance between work and family? Especially when life gets hectic. How are you able to balance it? What do you do?
Okay. For each stage of life, it was different.
Hmm.
When my children were younger, once I leave work and come home, work is finished. Though
Hmm.
I focus on my children at that point. We do a homework, we do whatever, we play, we do what we need to do, but there is no work at that point. And it's a decision I made, and it even extended to church, because there is some hours I don't go for church program.
Mm-hmm.
But that was when my children were small, because that is when you mold them. That's
Yeah.
when you teach them things. So there were some church programs I would not attend. And yeah, some people would talk, she's not a serious Christian, but between me and God, I know what I'm trying to achieve. So I didn't bother myself. So when they were younger, that was it. But as they grew up and they didn't need me as much, I agreed with my husband. Actually, we agreed that we don't come home with work unless it's absolutely necessary. If it's not an emergency, work does not come home with you. Full stop. This is something both of us agreed, and we did it for years. Actually, it's even me that broke it with this job I was telling you about that was stressing me out. It's me that went and broke that agreement and brought work home every single day, as in every single day. So um when it comes to boundaries, honestly, just when you set them, keep to them.
Hmm.
Because the problem with most of our boundaries is that we don't keep to it. We've said no work coming home, and then you go and bring work home. No. You might get some backlash. Maybe your boss will say you didn't put in all your very best because you didn't take work home. And it actually happened to me in that job I was talking about, because I had to call my boss and say, Sam, once I leave the office, we have 1 hour. That's the time it takes me to get home. Between the time I enter my car in the office and drive off, 1 hour till I get to my house, unless there's any kind of traffic or anything. Once I get to my house and I step out of my car, work is finished. Work is finished. He didn't like it. He said a lot of things, but I'm sorry. I had set this boundary with my husband. He keeps to it.
Hmm.
Then I go and break it. No. So I had to insist on it. And, yes, it meant I have to, if I get to work, from the minute I get to work, I have to ensure that I'm working. There is
Exactly.
no, I'm not
Exactly.
wasting time. Yes, I am putting in all that I can in the office, so that once I close, I've closed, work is finished. So
That's
those were the things that I did, um, that helped me maintain those boundaries between work and family.
okay. Let me ask you a question. Most of the time, this is the way we normally answer that question. But
Mhm.
I've seen, especially for moms with younger children, whereby it's the family that encroaches
Into
into the
work.
work, whereby
No.
they miss work, they come late, they have to leave work for them. Did that happen to you?
Not very often. Yes, there are days maybe my child is sick, I have to take them to the hospital. See, the point is that it's not that those things cannot happen, but they can't be the norm.
Hmm.
That is where we miss it. They can't be the normal thing that you're always taking off because of your children, or that you're always missing work, or you're always coming late.
Hmm.
No. When
Mm-hmm.
my children were really, really small, the place they were going to school was known for traffic. We had to leave our house 5 a.m. So I have to wake up those children 4 a.m., get them ready, so that 5 a.m. we've left the house, so that I can drop them in their school, enter that traffic, and make it to work on time.
Hmm.
Because I didn't believe that I should be giving that excuse all the time. It should be the one day that there was one mad traffic and I got to the office late. My boss knew something was wrong. He called me saying, "Ngozi, what happened?
Exactly.
You don't come late." So when I explained, he knew that, okay, because I mean, he knows where I live, he knows where my children go to school, and he knows that somehow I manage to get them to school and be in the office early. So the day I come late, he knows something is wrong. So there should not be the norm. We have issues because we make it normal and we make it seem as if to have children is a bad thing. To have children is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And it shouldn't now be your excuse for not being productive in the office. It shouldn't be your excuse for not being present in the
That's it.
office. Yeah, so I don't even know what else to say, but that is just the way I see it. There are exceptions, and those things should be the exception. They shouldn't be the norm.
Thank you so much for stressing that. My next question will go about finances, which you mentioned earlier when you started, and
Mhm.
maybe for those people that are just coming in, for you to go back to it. You said before, your finances was like a stress factor, but you were able to deal with it. My
Mm.
question was supposed to be, how do you manage the pressure of money? You have expectations or you have needs you can't meet up, and it stresses you out. You see your kids, you want to do things for them, you cannot. How do you cope with that? What has been your experience with that?
Okay, let me talk about the kids, then I'll go back to my experience with money. I made sure that I always told my children the truth about
Hmm.
money. They knew. They might not know the figure, they might not know how much exactly I make or how much their father makes, but they understood, well, I say the level that we are as a family. I made sure I did not paint it, I did not sugarcoat it, I did not make them feel we had more money than we did. I did not also make them feel we were poorer than we were. I was very honest with them. So if they come, oh, I need so so and so, and at the moment, I can't meet that need, I will tell them at the moment. I don't say, no, you can't have it. I never did that. Right now, I can't get you this, but we will plan towards it. And they will see me plan towards it, and they will see me get that thing. So part of the mistake I believe a lot of us make is that we don't tell our children. We think they're too small to understand some of this. They are not. They actually understand, they comprehend. So that was the first thing I made sure that, if truly I can't afford to give you this now, they will know. Now, the key word is now, not that I can't afford ever to give it to you. Never gave them that impression that there is anything that if I don't, that I can't give them. We can always work it out. There is a way to work things out. If we tried and it didn't work, they will see
Mm-hmm.
that we tried and it didn't work. Yeah. So that was how I handled as per children. Telling I made sure I told them they knew the situation. So anything I tell them, I can't do this now. There is no thought in their mind that my mother is playing tricks on me. No, they know that this
That's
one
good.
I really can't give them now. And they know that if tomorrow I'm able to, I
You would
will.
do.
Unless that thing is very unreasonable, I will tell you that this your request is unreasonable. And I will explain why it is unreasonable. That's another thing. We don't like to explain things to our children. We just tell them no. And
I am the parent.
yes, mm, explain things they can understand and they
Yeah,
do
that's true.
comprehend. So that is how I handled as per children. Now, generally, family finances, some days it's hard. It's really hard. Nobody, even the people you think are
Are
doing so
doing well.
well,
Mm-hmm.
some days it's hard. Some days it's hard. There are times that the wife has to step up. But in stepping up, you don't make it public knowledge anyway that you're stepping up.
Yeah.
Because, men, we have to keep them to a large extent. We don't want
Yeah.
to present them, as if they are failing. There are times you have to step up. There's something that I saw years ago that honestly I cried. A family was sent out of their home, and as in they came and threw their things out of because they did not pay rent. And why this hurt me is because I know the wife. And I know that she was capable of paying that rent. She
Mm.
paid that rent comfortably. and she chose not to. So I really felt bad because I didn't need to know that she's the one that paid the rent. She could have quietly paid that rent so that they don't go through that. I mean, there are things we are literally thrown outside of the compound onto the streets for them to carry and go. The children went through that whole trauma, and everybody, neighbors, everybody saw it. So there are times where, as women, we need to just step up quietly. Even if you pay the money to your husband's account and then let him pay the landlord, whatever, but quietly. There are situations where we do need to step in, but there are also situations where there's nothing you can do. That is when you get on your knees and cry out to God and pray to God, because there is no family that doesn't go through one thing or the other. There's really no family. We all have, the only thing that what I'm going through is different from what the other person is going through. What I'm going through to me is a big deal. To you, it might be small, or to me it's small, to you it's big. So everybody goes through financial um issues. And like I said, the day I understood that this money that they are paying is salary, because when at this period I was it's salary I was earning. It's not as if I was an entrepreneur. It's salary I was earning, but I understood that even that salary is not mine.
Hmm.
It actually belongs to God. He's given me 90% of that 100 and says, manage this one. And when I say manage, I mean take care of, manage in the area of take care of.
Yeah.
Take care of this 90%. And you know that if I come to you and I give you my iPad and I say, Kochifi, hold this for me, it's not the same way you hold your own iPad. You will hold this one that I give
That's
you to
true.
hold. It's not the
That's
same.
true.
Is not. So when I changed my mind to understand that that 90% of my money, in quote, my money that I've been feeling big about,
It's not your own.
I'm actually a steward of it. It changed how I spend money. It changed completely how I spend money. It changed even how I save money, how I invest. It changed a whole lot of things. And so before I even spend, invest, save, whatever it is I am doing, I have to make sure that the person that owns the money is okay with it. And like I said, that changed my relationship with money. If I open my account now and it's reading zero, honestly, there is nothing. I don't feel anything. Before I would cry, I would sit and cry and lament my fate that there's no money in my account. But if I open my account now, there's no single kobo inside. I look at it, I'm like, okay, God, your money is finished though.
Abi.
The money is finished. I don't know what you're going to do, but you can see your money is finished.
Refill it.
Yes, your money is finished. I can't do anything without your money being in the account. It's gone. And somehow, honestly, it sounds, sometimes when we say some of these things, people think we are just trying to be super or hyper spiritual. It's not hyper spirituality, it's actually the truth of the matter.
Well, lifestyle.
He knows how to refill it, because truly I have understood and I've begun to walk with the mindset that this money belongs to him. That is what set me free from financial stress.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me just share one, two, three things. First of all, what I wanted to say about maybe like that woman that you said did not pay the house rent. I don't know her case, but
Mm.
this matter of marriage and some men, the way they handle women
Yeah,
contributing, sometimes it plays some roles in some families
mm,
that you will not even believe.
it's true.
And you wonder why some women make some decisions and you struggle with it. But when you now get to know, you now
Mm,
try and understand. But like you said, um, in a family, the man is the head. The man should provide, and a woman, please, if you have, you should provide, and you should not provide and stand there as a provider. You do it
mm,
subtly in your home. That's your
mm-hmm.
support, and then that will make the family to go well.
Yeah.
And if you are having financial situations, problems, man, there's no shame.
At all.
Sometimes we go into this, it's so shameful. That's number one problem. So there's no shame. First of all, you can ask yourself, why did I come to this? Maybe you were overspending, maybe you were doing things that you're not supposed to do. Then take a step down
Mm-hmm.
and start again, So this shame factor, I used to do this and now I have to do this now. Yes, for now, like you said with your kids, for now. You'll get
Mm-hmm.
back there, but for now. So there is no shame. Don't stress you, don't impress people. Don't cut your coat according to the what you have, not according to what you want to wear. If
Yeah.
your cloth is like this, cut it. You know, it will help you.
Yeah.
If there's anything that I've thanked God for my life, is that I've been contented all my life,
Mm.
and that helps a lot. That helps a lot. So thank you for sharing that. So we'll go to
Yeah.
the part of relationship with people. How do you
Mm.
deal with people that are draining? People that are, they are stressful people. And sometimes we have them in the family, sometimes at work.
Yes.
How have you been able to manage them, and
Mm.
what has stress taught you about people in your own circle? Do you see them and say, okay, this one don't come again, or this is a person that I have my soft landing with this person? So what has
Mm.
been your experience with people, relationship and stress?
See with people with drainers. See, I've learned how to cut people off without their knowing that they are cut off.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
I had to practice and learn how to move you out, restrict access. Let me
hmm,
use that word. I've
hmm.
learned how to restrict people's access to my life, and they don't realize that they are really restricted. They still have access, so they are like, okay, I'm still there. But I have greatly reduced your access to my life. That is one thing that has helped me because see these drainers, if you give them space, they will drain you to the ground. No, nothing will be left of you. And they exist in your family, they exist
Okay.
around you, they are there. We can't get rid of them. All you need to do really is to restrict access. Their access to you should be, must be restricted. For example, I had a I had someone that she only calls me when she needs money.
Hmm,
That's the only time she'll remember sending, oh, auntie, so and so, send me a message, all that. And each time she would do this. Initially, I was like, I would just send the money. After asking, what do you need it for? And all that. How much do you need? I'll send something. I never sent exactly
what she
sometimes
asked for. Hmm.
what she asked for, but I would just send something. She'll come back after maybe 2 months. Bang, 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 auntie, yeah, yeah, yeah. So one time she came again. Brak, 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 auntie, oh. I said, have you asked me how I'm doing? That was all. Though. Have you asked me how I'm doing? I did not say I will not give you the money. I did not say, I didn't even ask her what she's doing with money this time. I just said, have you asked me
Hmm.
how I'm doing? She didn't respond to that question. And for me, right there, I restricted her access to me. Oh. She can still send me message and greet me, no problem. If I see her, we greet. We are not quarreling, no. We are not quarreling. There is no quarrel in it. I am not keeping face for you or anything, but you can't just bump into me anymore because you truly don't care about me. You only want to be taken all the time. That is financial. There are people that their own is to drain you
Emotionally.
emotionally.
Mentally.
It's
Hmm.
their issues. That's all they ever do. They never ask you how you are. She was a very good friend at a point. And, I suddenly started noticing that each time we are talking about her issues. That is what our discussion is. We don't discuss anything again. We don't discuss any other matters. It's only her issues, the things that are troubling her, the things that are happening in her life, how she's, everything was about her. And when I saw this, I quickly withdrew because I cannot be in a relationship with you if it's one sided. You have not asked me how I'm doing. You have not checked how things are with me. You're not even interested in it. But you want me to advise you, you want me to talk to you, you want me to be there for you. No, nah. I just quietly, oh, once again, we did not quarrel. There is no issue. We still talk, but when she comes with the too much me, I quickly close down the discussion nicely. Either, oh, my dear, sorry, oh, child, I have somewhere, something. I will find
Yeah.
something to close down that discussion. And that ends. So when I think she too big after a while, she began to see that, we no longer spend hours talking. The hours have turned to minutes.
Mm.
So I've restricted access. She
Yes,
can't
bro.
say we are quarreling because we're not. She can't say I said anything to her because I did not abuse you. I did not say any wrong words to you. I said nothing. I just restricted your access to me. Simple. So that is what I have come to see that works for me. I don't cut people off.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Actually, don't cut anybody off, but I restrict your access to me. And it works for me. I don't know about any other person, but it works.
I think that's very important, especially as Christians. Also, we don't just cut people off without any serious reason.
Mm,
You
yeah.
understand? So, I mean, the restricting this access is very important because it makes you maybe to also act in a way that's not glorifying to God. So you just have to
Mm,
restrict them because you want to be glorifying to God,
yeah.
at the end of the day. So
Mhm,
that's very, very important. For
yeah.
me, like I set those boundaries, just like those are like setting boundaries,
Yeah.
and really protect your space, protect your mind, and everything like that. Or else you find yourself like I keep saying to myself, I'll be struggling with myself inside. I'm not a person that shouts or abuse, but I'll
Mhm.
be inside, fighting with myself. So it's just good to be clear like that. So we have almost used 1 hour. Let me ask you this last question before we go. I
Okay.
think for each and every one of us, we have times whereby life gets overwhelming.
Mm,
This week I sent a message to a young lady, she's older than me, to a woman, and
yeah.
to thank her. About 4 years ago, I was really in a very bad place. I would cry all night and I have to go to work in the morning. And
Mm,
sometimes in the night I'll be crying, I'll be praying and crying, and in my eyes I'm just holding on to God's leg. I was really struggling. Well, there was one particular night, it was just like that. I was, just holding God, what's it? And a message just popped up to my what do you call it, on my phone, and
mm,
it was too much. I'm trying to read that message again because I sent it to her again. And
mm,
let me read it. It says, she said to me, he said, good, and that was by 1:30 in the morning, and I was awake crying and praying. She doesn't stay here in this country, she stays in another country. Say, good morning, ma. I see you daily. God is checking on you through his vessel. Happy new month. God says you are beautiful, you are great, well done. In all areas that concerns you, it will turn out well at this
mm,
time. You know.
mm,
So that day I just answered her, thank you. And it was later in the hours I answered her, thank you so much. These were very impactful words. But it's just recently I now
mm,
called her and I said, you don't know what happened to me that day, but I thank you for God using you. So what I'm saying that is that sometimes life gets overwhelming. Life
mm.
gets as if you don't have hope. You don't
Yeah.
have anything. What do you do at such times that brings you out of that darkness whereby you don't see any light to a place whereby you see a stream of light coming into your life?
Okay, for me, what has always gotten me out of any kind of darkness is my faith. It has always gotten me out of darkness, my faith in God, and my belief that God is good.
Mm.
I tell people that we say those words, but many of us don't believe it. We truly don't. And not only don't we believe it, we don't trust in God's goodness. And this is what has gotten me through. dark, difficult times. That belief that God is good and his goodness is not in doubt.
Hmm.
Because there are some things that happen to you, you want to doubt God's goodness. Yes, there are things that happen, you begin to wonder, you said you're good, right, God? Does this look like goodness to you? You want to present that matter. Does this thing look like goodness to you? So I've come to just understand that truly God is good and his goodness is not in doubt. And that scripture that says that all things work together, hey, that is my anchor.
Hmm.
Because the good, the bad, the ugly, they will always work together.
Hmm.
Somehow they will work together for my good. So when things become overwhelming, when it looks like all hope is lost, I go back and I'm like, God, I know you are good, and your goodness is never in doubt. The Bible says there's no shadow of darkness. I mean, there's no element of darkness in you. You know, there's someone gave this illustration that when God is described in Revelation, it says that he's on a throne that's full of eyes. And why is the throne full of eyes? He's looking for element of evil in God and he could never see.
Hmm.
He sits on a throne that is full of eyes, searching, and they never see any evil. They never see any bad. Those eyes, they never see anything wrong, any badness. I use that word carefully in God. And I've come also to understand that the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever is happening will someday work out for my good.
Amen. Amen.
Somehow it will work for my good. And a friend of mine always says that nothing works against the Son of God. And I
Amen.
believe that with all my heart. Nothing works against the Son of God. And I am a son, so nothing can work against me. When things get hard, I go back into my source and I remind myself of all these things first of all. And then I rest in him because he doesn't have any bad thoughts towards me.
Hmm.
It's not even possible. It's not possible. He doesn't have any bad thoughts towards me. All his thoughts, all his plans for me, they are for good. This has been my own anchor in the times of overwhelming troubles. And even when I'm looking and that situation still seems to remain the same, because I know that somebody will now be there saying, but what if after I've said all this and the situation is still exactly how I left it? Even in that time when it looks like nothing is happening, something is happening. Because when you plant a seed, it doesn't look like that seed is growing.
Doesn't
Not
say, you don't see it.
anything. You don't see anything until that shoot finally comes up from the ground. You see nothing, but something is happening. Something is happening. Something is changing. A transformation is happening down there. So that is what I have come to anchor my life on. Even when it looks like the situation on the ground, on the surface, is not changing, something is changing inside. Even if it's just my mindset that is changing.
That's what I want to say.
Even if it's
Sometimes situations will not change, but God will change you. God will
yes,
change you that you'll be flying in that situation. You'll be
yes,
thriving in those
in
storms.
the midst of
and
yes.
and that's what I've learned. And
Mhm.
that's what, like, you used one word, remind yourself. Right now, when me and my kids, when some things happen, I'm just so cool, so I've just so get chilled, so relaxed,
Mhm.
because I remember, God saw me through that. Now
Yes,
you remind yourself, and
yes.
you go through that thing, because you know whose you are, and that helps me out right now
Mhm. Yeah.
so much. So
Mhm.
thank you so much. We have used our time, but
Mhm.
please, what
Well,
one word will you say to people watching us about stress, about life, that they will take with and move?
what there's one thing that I will tell us is to learn to pause. Learn to pause in whatever situation, whatever is happening around you, however difficult it is, however overwhelming it is. Learn to take a pause. Breathe.
Mm.
There's this song that says, "It is a miracle you can breathe." Breathe. Breathe. Just take a breath. Drop everything and just breathe. Sorry, someone is calling me. And just breathe. It can get you through so much, because in that minute or that second that you're pausing and breathing, you begin to notice, you begin to see the things that truly matters and the ones that you can leave by the side. So that, I think, that is my message for us this afternoon. Learn to pause, learn to breathe. It will be okay. It truly will. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this conversation on stress and balance. And I hope you all gain something. Write in the comment section your own take, your own experience, so that we'll read and grow together. I see you
Amen.
next week with my next guest that I'll put on the hot seat and gain from their own experience. God bless you all. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you for having me.